All right. You're alive. This is Isupk under command General Hans Store at 1 West 125th Street Hall, New York. Teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians that you're the real Jews. Man, we are the real Jews, man. Make sure to subscribe to Isupk Baltimore. Make sure to support us, follow us. I mean, you have young men bringing in here, young men and women. I mean, young men and women, for sure, want to bring them into a righteous place, man, because this place is about to collapse. As you can see, the world's upside down. I mean, I got the big priest, Officer Gabar, caught in the building with me today. Clap it up for him. I mean, the world is upside down, Gabar, and as the world gets worse and worse, and Christians and Muslims start to realize that what they are teaching is not matching up with what they're seeing out in the world, they are starting to come and ask questions. They're asking us questions now. If I show you my phone is blowing up with people I ain't speak to in years. They want to know what's going on. They want to know what's my perspective on this. They want to know what I think about that. You understand what I mean? Why? Because the truth is, everybody knows what the truth is. Everybody knows who has the truth. Everybody, they just hate the truth because it's not convenient. It's not something that's comfortable for them. You understand what I mean? A lot of I got brothers from the Christian church calling me secretly. They don't want their wife to know they're calling me to ask me questions. Because, and one brother said, even his wife know the Christian church is not the truth. So I asked him, so why y'all go? And he couldn't answer it, but I knew the answer why they go. They go because that's her control over him. Right. That's her power over him.
He got a problem with it evidently.
Say again?
She got a problem with it evidently.
Yeah.
He must say, man, I'm saying about it.
Yeah. He don't want to go, but he had to submit to her. That's how he submits to her by going to church. Right. You understand what I mean? Which is a very evil thing. You brothers, man. Let me tell you. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go before I get into my topic. I'm gonna go a little bit into that because I've been wanting to talk about that a little bit. You understand? You're gonna have to understand what the Lord wants from you. I mean, before we go, we got any questions in the class or online? I don't know if we have anybody online yet. But we got any questions in class? Say again? All right, that's all right. Give me I'm going to go to the book of Genesis, right? Give me the book of Genesis, chapter 12. Hey, Shalom, sis, Sage, Shalom. Yeah, Shalom, how you doing, sis? Let me know if you have any questions. I mean, any questions you have, feel free to ask them, all right, sis?
Right, so Genesis what?
Genesis chapter 12.
And what?
We're going to start in verse 1, right? And this is what, when you want to serve the Lord, when you want to, you got to understand, if the Lord is choosing you, He's not choosing you to stay where you're at. He's not gonna choose you in the Christian church. Right. You know what I mean? He's gonna choose you and you're gonna remain in the Muslim mosque. Ain't just gonna be comfortable where you at. Nah, that's not what He wants. I mean, read for me Genesis chapter 12, verse 1.
Genesis 12 and 1. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country.
Slow it down right there, Gabar. The Lord, and says, let me know if you can hear us clearly. Both myself and Officer Gabar were caught while you're alive, right? The Lord said to Abraham, what?
Get thee out of thy country.
Get thee out of thy country. Meaning what? He could stay amongst the Chaldeans. That's where he was amongst. He could stay there. He had to get up and leave. You understand what I mean? When he said to get up out the country, that's where he was raised. That's where he grew up. That's where everybody was familiar. That's where his family was, his mother was, his father was. Everybody was there. And if the Lord was going to use him, the Lord wanted him to get up and leave. Keep reading.
And from thy kindred.
And from what?
And from thy kindred.
Get thee from thy kindred. Thy kindred is who? Your brothers and sisters.
Right.
Your family. Your cousins. You understand me? This is what the Christian church don't understand. They think they're going to serve the Lord the same way they've been living their lives.
Right.
Around the same homeboys they've been had. Around the same homegirls they've been around. It doesn't work that way. Lord wanted Abraham to get up and leave. Leave his hometown. Leave his kindred. Go ahead.
And from thy father's house.
And from what?
And from thy father's house.
You're going to have to leave your father's house where you're comfortable. Now imagine, in that society, in every society before this evil society, it was important for a father to give his son what?
Truth.
Hmm?
Truth.
Well, Abraham's father didn't have the truth, so he couldn't give him the truth. What was it important to give your son in that society? Well, did every father, especially a rich one, give his son an inheritance? Abraham had to walk away from that. So we read this and it's like, get thee from thy father's house. And we think, oh yeah, he got to leave his father's crib. Because most of us, the way we lived, we couldn't wait to leave our father's house. You see what I mean? This is a different society. Abraham's future depended on his father's wealth. Us growing up in the ghettos and the slums, our future depends on us leaving our fathers now, leaving our house. That's the only way we're going to better ourselves. That's the only way we're going to get an education. That's the only way we're going to get a job. That's the only way we're going to be successful in our minds. But back then, it was a different society. They relied on that inheritance from their father. You know what I mean? But Abraham had to leave that behind. He said, get me from thy kindred and from thy father's house. That is a devastating blow for any young man in that time. Go ahead. You said what we said?
Unto a land that I will show thee. Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation.
Now the Lord speaks to Abraham and said, I'm going to take you to a land, and there I'm going to make you a great nation. You know, and this story sounds like it's new. Hey, shalom, sis. Shalom. Yeah, shalom. This story sounds, and anybody online, let me know if you have any questions. Just type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. All right. And I'm gonna tell you sidebar. If you're studying, you have questions. Right? Make sure you're studying. You know what I mean? Right. Because if you're studying, you have questions. Yeah. So this story is not new. This is the same thing that happened to who else before Abraham? Think about it. Who else had to leave their people? Moses. Well, before Abraham. But Moses is a good one. Moses was a good one, but before Abraham. I'll give it to you for the sake of time. Remember, Adam, before he had that breath blown into him and got the laws, he was amongst his people until the Lord chose him and breathed the breath of life into him and found a woman for him, right? He was amongst his people. He had to leave his people. Do you ever hear about the people of Adam? No. You understand what I mean? And the same thing happened with Abraham here. He had to leave his people. Well, why am I saying this? When you come into the school, brother, oftentimes, and it's hard for brothers to understand, and sisters, especially when you have ties to people, you're going to have to, look, either they're going to follow you because you got to work, like you got work to do. And the funny thing about it is you're not working because you don't really mess with them like that. You got to go build something for them that they're not willing to come and build with you. Right. That's the crazy part. We are so loving, brother. We're taught to be so loving in the school under the Lord, under your house shy. You know what I mean? That, we got to go and build a kingdom for the people that we love who couldn't come with us. Right? Why couldn't they come with us? Simple answer. The Lord didn't choose them to come with us. Just like Abraham, his brothers and sisters could not come with him. His father could not come with him. His cousin could not come with him. His homeboys could not come with him. But read verse 2 again.
Verse 2. And I will make them be a great nation.
I'm going to make you a great nation. Now, here's the thing. There are many nations on the earth. Why didn't the Lord choose amongst the existing nations? That's what I mean? Why did he choose amongst the existing nations? There were, in fact, Abraham was already part of a family, was he? Why didn't the Lord just choose his family and say, this is the great nation? I'm going to multiply this belt. But it'd been easier. It'd been easier, you know what I mean? Because you'd have had more people to build this nation. No, the Lord didn't want it that way. The Lord wanted Abraham. And through Abraham, he was going to be a great nation. At that point there, Abraham stopped being the family of his people. He became his own nation inside the Lord. That's what I mean. That's why he had to leave him. He was no longer that man's son. He was no longer that man's brother, that man's uncle, that man's cousin. Nah, Abraham was now like Adam. That's what I mean. Keep reading.
And I will bless thee and make thy name great.
And I'm going to bless you, and I'm going to make your name great. Till this day, we're talking about who? Abraham. That's our forefather. That's what I mean? When the Israelites talk about their forefather, who do they say? Adam? No. They say Abraham, our forefather. That's what I mean? That's who the Lord chose to make a great nation out of. Keep reading.
And thou shalt be a blessing. Verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curses thee.
And that's what the Lord said to Abraham. And when he said these words to Abraham, he said not only to Abraham, he said it to Abraham and his lineage. I mean, think about that. That's such a heavy thing. The Lord said, I'm going to bless them that bless you and curse them that curse you. What does that mean? That means if anybody wants any blessing from the Lord, it's going to be through you. It's not going to be through their prayers. Some Moabite can't pray to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If he was a blessing, what does he have to do with it, Bob?
He had to be in the lineage.
Speak up like that.
He had to be in the family of Abraham.
Okay, if he's not of the family of Abraham,
He had to be blessed by Abraham.
he got to be what?
Blessed by Abraham.
That's it. That's your role on the earth. When we're keeping the commandments, of course. When we submit to God, of course. When we're serving the true God, of course. Not when we're in a Muslim mosque.
Right.
The heathen don't need us at that point. You know what I mean? Right now, everybody's crying over Gaza and all these places that are going to war. If you was in your right place, if we as black people were keeping the Lord's statutes and commandments, they wouldn't be crying to America to save them. They'd be crying to us. That please pray to your God that he may show mercy to us. That's what I mean? That's what they'd be crying for. But because you're not in your rightful seat, who are they crying to? Trump. Trump, please say something. Trump, please help us. Trump, please rescue us. Trump has become the power on earth, the one that if you bless him or curse him, that will determine your future. You know what I mean? Which he should not have that seat. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Break that part down.
And then through Abraham, all the 12 tribes of Israel will be blessed.
All the 12 tribes of Israel or all the families of the earth? I want you to consider this closely. And people misunderstand this by thinking, oh, go ahead.
I could say that we supposed to teach. We're supposed to teach in the kingdom. So
Okay. And thee, who's the thee?
Israel.
Israel. That's why you can't say and thee. That's why you can't say and thee, the 12 tribes will be blessed, because the 12 tribes is the one, is the thee. Right? Read it again.
And in thee.
And in thee, who's the thee?
Abraham.
Abraham and his lineage. In thee, go ahead.
Shall all families of the earth be blessed?
Shall all families of the earth? Who are all families of the earth?
Israel.
Well, in thee, who's the thee?
Abraham.
Israel. So who's the families of the earth? Think about it. Think about it. And thee meaning Abraham and his lineage. Through Abraham and his lineage shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Who are the families of the earth? Don't be afraid to say.
All nations.
All nations. Now, does that mean, like the Christians say, all nations could be blessed? No. Why? We just read. Read verse 3 again. And pay attention to this part here. Verse 3 again, one more time.
And I will bless them that bless thee.
I will bless them that bless thee. Go ahead.
And curse them that curses thee.
And I will curse them that curse thee. Who's the ones he's gonna bless and curse?
Not the ones that bless him.
Yeah, but who are the people they're talking about here?
All nations.
All nations. I will bless them that bless thee. Right? So the nations that bless you, I will bless them. The nations that curse you, I will curse them. Keep reading.
And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
Now, indeed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. To break that part down, what is it saying here? You have to consider the whole thing.
And through them blessing you, all families of the earth will be blessed.
Right. So now, if they don't want to be cursed and they want to be blessed, how could they be blessed?
I bless them.
That's the only way. So, in other words, if they want to keep their land, if they want to prosper, if they want to love their families and build and be happy, it's only one way to do that for the heathen. By blessing Israel, by serving Israel, and they'll have a wonderful life. That's why the scripture says, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. Trust, let me tell you something, man. You think the kingdom's gonna be a beautiful place for the youth. They never have such righteous rulership. Finally, they're gonna be blessed in a righteous way. Now, don't get me wrong. They can't serve God. But who could they serve?
Israel.
Israel. That's how they get blessed. That's how they're gonna get that's how Gaza is going to be free. Well, they can't stay in that land because that land don't belong to them. But that's how they're gonna get the people there will get their own land, and they won't have to worry about their babies being blown up. They won't have to worry about bombs falling out the sky. But only thing they have to do, bro, is like it says in the book of Revelations, the gates do not close. All the heathen are gonna bring their riches into the kingdom. That's what they're gonna do. They're going to, like I was telling some Muslim the other day. He got so upset because he was talking about, like, I was telling him, don't you believe in heaven y'all gonna have servants? Like, you believe you're gonna have 8,000 boy servants in the heaven, and you're gonna have hundreds of thousands of this and thousands. They said, yeah. I said, well, you understand the concept then. For you to be in heaven, you're gonna have servants, right? He said, yeah. I said, so well, in our heaven, your children are gonna be the servants. He didn't like that joke. Like, oh, so I told him, why you don't like it? In your heaven, you have servants. Why can't y'all be servants for once? See? Yeah. That's the point. It's like, if for them to be blessed, they're gonna have to serve people to the Lord. Go ahead, Mark.
He's thinking our heaven over his head.
Yeah. Yeah, his heaven is such a nasty place. Man, his heaven, sorry to go off topic, but hey, Shalom, I'm Takai, Shalom, sis. Yeah, Shalom, I'm talking about Shimon Shah. Good to see you, sis. Glad for joining us. Let me tell you the heaven of Islam, man, or the heaven of these Muslims, man. The heaven of Islam is not a heaven you would send your daughter to. It is not a heaven that you would send somebody you love to.
It's a heaven that will never exist.
It's but the very idea. If I was, let's say I didn't know anything, and I have to hear about that heaven, I would never send my daughter there.
Not righteous.
Everybody there's a sex slave. Like when you start, I can't even speak about it. Like, and they get offended when I bring it up in their books. That means prostitutes coming from hell to have sex with them. They have sisters in their books. Sloppy sisters. This is Islam. What can I say? But everlasting erections. You're a sex slave. You understand what I mean? At that point, you're a sex slave.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's all garbage. Now, in our heaven, brother, it's going to be a righteous place. And guess what? Here's the beauty of it. In our kingdom, they can keep their women. It's unlawful for us to touch their women. Imagine how righteous that is. We can't go and take their women from them.
Yeah.
They could keep their daughters.
And rape their woman like they did ours.
We can't do that. You understand what I mean? We can't do that. So they're gonna love it. Even the white supremacists would love it because look, they can keep their land. They're just gonna have to pay the taxes. I mean, they're just gonna have to work for a living for once. They're gonna have some work to do. I mean, besides that, brother, I mean, we're gonna live righteously. I mean, yes, sir, Bob. Anybody like us? Go ahead. Like I said, anybody online have any questions, feel free to ask, right? Let's keep reading. But for now, get back to the topic, right? Where we at? Yeah, and indeed shall all families of the earth be blessed. So people misunderstand that scripture because they think because of Abraham, all families of the earth will be blessed. That's not what it said. If you read the first part, verse 3 at the top, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curse thee. And indeed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. What is he saying there basically? And you said it earlier, Bob. If they want a blessing, there's only one way to get it. That's what it's saying. If the nations if Moabites want a blessing, if the Arabs want a blessing, if the Egyptians want a blessing, the Africans want a blessing, there's only one way to get it. And you're not going to get it by going and praying to Jesus. You're not going to get it by going and praying to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's only one way to get it. How do they get it? Through blessing Israel. That's what that scripture means. Through thee, meaning you are the way for them to get blessed. The same way, how do we get a blessing? Through your house, Shah. That's all. You know what I mean? Without your house, Shah, there is no blessing for us. That's the rate the Lord said. Christ said, whatever you ask in my name, well, you become that for the heathen. You understand me? You become that for them so that they could keep, so that the crops could grow, so they could bring it to you. So that when they send their children out in the minefields, that maybe less of them will lose arms in the minefields like they do the other nations. You understand what I mean? That's the blessing they're looking for, to keep their lives, to have sons and daughters and not lose them to wild beasts and wild animals. I mean, that's the blessing they're going to be looking for. And the way to get that from the Lord is to serve you properly. All right, keep reading.
Verse 4. So Abram departed, as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abraham was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran.
That's it with that, right? So that's the point. What was the point I was making here? That to serve the Lord, brother, you're not going to stay comfortable where you at. You understand what I mean? You know how much family we lost because of this truth? Right? I mean, loved ones stop speaking to us because of the truth. Right now, a lot of them are starting to come around because they got no choice. Times is getting hard and they want some answers and they can't get no answers in the Christian church. And could you imagine, like, with all that's going on in the world, all the war, World War III is right there. All types of Trump is deporting people left, right, people being thrown in concentration camps. They built something called an alligator Alcatraz to keep people. With all that happening, the Christian church has not addressed none of it. What do? They dancing and singing. With all that going on, all you got for me is a song. You can't even say, hey, this is the prophecy that was spoken about in the Bible, and this is what we need to do. None of that. They're clapping, dancing, and passing around the collection trip. You understand what I mean? That's why you're going to see a lot of people coming to you with questions now. And you sisters, do this. As people start to come to you for questions, don't try to answer it and break nothing heavy down. The demon's going to try to convince you to go and start teaching. That's not your role, sis. You understand what I mean? Send them to class. Send them to class. Go ahead, ball.
Yeah, I was just, it was heavy that you just said that because sitting home with my wife the other night, and brother just called me out of the blue. And I remember like a month ago, washing my clothes and saw the clothes that I had on and asked me about the truth.
You're good.
I gave information and gave me a call and asked me questions.
Okay.
Directly to the schools and classes. Just start getting the classes. All your answers will be, all your questions can be answered if you study the same some food kind of questions.
Yeah.
So just that.
Yeah. 100%. You understand what I mean? And especially for the sisters, look, sisters, you don't want to try to, because a brother is slick. You know what I mean? You never know what his good intentions are. We are your brothers. You know what I mean? We are here to defend your honor and protect you. We don't want you talking to some random dude about nothing. You gotta come and ask him about God. You know what I mean? He's trying to rock. You know what I mean? Now, that's not everybody. I'm not saying that's everybody. But how do you make sure you don't fall victim to anybody? You send them to the school. That's it. You know what I mean? Send them to the school. All right. Let's go into this also. You have something about? Give me the book of Luke, verse 17. And this topic here, I've actually, we're going to start in verse 1, right? This is this is something good for us to understand. Because a lot of people like to say, okay, shalom, sis, Azarama. Shalom, I pray the young man is doing well, the young baby's doing well, and you're doing well also, sis. This is a good way to understand when it comes to, things that's gonna happen, right? Things that's gonna happen. When you think about, for example, Christ, right, and Judas, and he said, how could he do that to Christ? You know what I mean? We do that. That's crazy. This is going to explain to you here, right? And by this, you're going to understand certain things amongst each other, how we deal with each other also. Remember, this is the brotherhood class, right? So you're going to understand certain things have to happen, but what power do you have over it? Give me the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 1. Go ahead.
Luke 17 and 1. Then said he unto the disciple, it is impossible, but that offense will come.
It is impossible, but that offenses will come. What are offenses? It is impossible for offenses not to happen to you, sis. What are offenses? When you're offended by something, or when you're a victim of something, or when somebody did something to you. These things, say again?
Some kind of assault.
It could be an assault, right?
Disrespect.
Go ahead. Disrespect. Betrayal. Yes, I mean, it could be anything. Why? Because Satan is here, man. Satan's job is to make sure there's betrayal. There's somebody who's going to stab you in your back. I mean, figuratively, sometimes literally. You understand what I mean? Offenses must come. And that's what you have to understand. They have to happen in this kingdom. You know what I mean? In this life, it has to happen. So don't think you're just going to go through life untouched and clean. Not in this captivity. So it is impossible for offenses not to come. Go ahead.
But woe unto him through whom they come.
That's what the part you have to understand. Woe unto him through whom they come. You know what I mean? Destruction unto him through whom it comes. So be careful how we deal with each other, basically. Because things are going to happen in this kingdom because they have to happen. You know what I mean? Oppression does not happen out of nowhere. It's a systematic thing. Okay? It's systematic. It's going to happen. It's part of the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, where the Lord told you from verse 15 on down all the things he was going to do to you because you disobeyed him. But whoa, destruction on the person that comes through. Keep reading.
Verse 2. It will be better for him that a millstone will hang about his neck, and he cast into the sea, then that he should offend one of these little ones.
That person who's going to do this offense, this is, of course, this is an excellent precept for Judas, right? This is actually speaking about Judas, to be honest with you, right? But Christ is basically saying, the offense must come. Especially in Christ's case, he had to come and go through what he was going to go through. It was written. That's how it had to play out. That's why even when Christ was about to go through it, he prayed to the Father and said, let this cup pass from me. But nevertheless, let your will be done, not mine. Meaning that he would prefer he don't not go through it. But if he has to go through it, he's going to have to go through it. Now, who's going to be the person to sell him out? That's what I mean? Woe to that person. Woe to that person, because it has to happen, but you don't want it to happen by your hand. Why am I bringing this out? Brothers and sisters, we need to check ourselves consistently. Make sure that the offense that's going to come to that sister, man, is not by your hand. The offense that comes to that brother is not by your hand. You understand? Because, read that part again.
It would be better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones.
It would be better if you tied what's a millstone? A millstone is a big rock, a boulder. A boulder. If you know what a boulder is, a giant rock. It'd be better if you tied a rope to that rock, tied the rope to his neck, and push that boulder to the sea. What's that boulder going to do? It's going to drag up to the bottom of the sea. That's a horrible death. You're being strangled underwater. Ain't no way out of that. You understand me? It would be better if that happened to him. What's that saying? That saying the judgment is going to be harsh. You understand me? The judgment is going to be harsh. Precept for this part is where God said, do not fear those who can kill the body and not the soul. Rather, fear him who could kill both the body and the soul in hell. That's who. So he could push you through some stuff, bro. The Lord could push you through some stuff, and you don't want that. So make sure we're not offending each other, man. We're not setting each other up. When you start to see any type of impure thought in your mind against a brother or sister, to the point where their detriment is something that you would like to see, you gotta check yourself immediately. Here's what you can do easy. Don't fight that demon alone. That's a mistake we make in Israel time and time again. We try to fight some demon alone, but we can get counsel. We get counsel. Let me tell you what the counsel does. Counsel, you think counsel is just people giving you advice. counsel from a righteous person is orders also from a righteous person, right? And that person knowing about it, that brother, them generals who sit in on them councils, they pray. The scripture says the prayers of a righteous man is holding on to the Lord. You know what I mean? They pray before they go into these councils. They pray on your behalf. They pray for you. You know what I mean? And it'll help get that demon off you. And in your counsel, the Lord will help them see what to say to you. And that, like I sat in the council, brother, and it's like, wow, this is from the Lord. This is not Kevin Samuels giving some whole counsel. You know what I mean? This is not that. This is not, the Breakfast Club. Dr. Phil, that's the perfect one. That's what I was thinking for. I couldn't even. This is not Dr. Phil, bro. This is righteous men who have set a structure to help Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians in the time of need. Yes, I mean, brothers who take the time to study the scriptures to the point where they know when you're being attacked by a demon. I mean, but no matter what the demon is, whether it be demons of the past or demons that, are right now trying to get into your head. I mean, so somebody who causes a trespass, it would be better that you tie a noose around the neck, tied to a boulder, and pushed into the water. That boulder is the water. Right? It would be better that happened to them than that he should offend one of these little ones. Who are these ones, these little ones? Who are one of these little ones that Christ is talking about here?
New people coming into the truth.
Say again?
New people coming into the truth.
Not only do new people come to the truth,
Children.
let me tell you, who's little to Christ? All of us. You understand what I mean? All of us. Christ looks at you, brother, like his little brother. And for somebody to offend you, it's like somebody offending his little brother. Somebody who left his family and chose to be a relative of Christ. Somebody who left his people in the world and chose to be associated with Christ. You're one of these little ones. I mean, Christ said, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. I pray for them. Who are them? These little ones. The ones who would sacrifice everything. These righteous sisters here in the school. I always look at, let me tell you something about, I look at sisters in school with amazement. I look at it with absolute amazement because I'm like, this is a rough place. I mean, and a brother like Gabar Rakar could survive in a rough place like this. Why? Because Gabar Rakar is a rough brother. You know what I mean? He don't need to be bathed. He comes from the streets. So being in a rough situation, we're just coming up, well, I'll pass on some comment on that. But I'm just saying, we come up in rough places. We'll survive. But when I see these nice, sweet sisters in here, I'm like, what are you doing here? And I realized the Lord brought them in here. And when I realized the Lord brought them in here, I was like, damn, I better watch my mouth. You understand me? I better watch my mouth because why isn't there like a mega church of sisters in here? The Lord didn't want them. But there's a sister who comes in here. The Lord wanted her. Watch your mouth around her. Because she means something to the Lord. And I'm going to tell you something else. And we broke this down last time about in the regeneration of the reincarnation breakdown. You don't know who these sisters are, man. These sisters and brothers. It's like I don't want to put it just on the sisters. I'll take it. These brothers and sisters. We're not into genealogy and trying to figure out who was who. We don't get into that. I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, I think Gabar Rakar was this. No, that's not what we do. We are who we are today. But the Lord knows who's who. Oftentimes, that's why the Lord brings some people into the school. I mean, there's a sister in the school who was kind to a prophet. And in these last days, the Lord's not going to leave her outside the truth. There's a brother in the school who served the Lord in his poverty, in slavery, in captivity. The last days, the Lord's not going to look over him. The Lord's going to bring him in here. You understand what I mean? And that's the little ones that Christ is talking about, who are dear to him. He's calling them little ones, just like you call anything to you a little one. What do you call that grown woman who's your wife? Baby. Right? What does she call this grown man? Baby. Babe. That's just how we speak. So when you hear the term little ones, Christ's not talking about little babies or even people who just can't. Nah, he's talking about the people who mean something to him. That's why he says, it'd be better that something evil happened to you than you harm the people who love him and he loves. It'd be better than something evil. You know why? Here's why it'd be better if something evil happens to you. Or that this millstone's tied around your neck and you thrown into the water. Because at least you could say, please, God, help me. What would you do if God made it happen to you? Who are you going to pray to now? You know what I mean? Who are you going to pray to now if God made it happen to you? At least if you didn't do nothing, then the Lord might say, no, that's not right. Or, let him live. I mean, but if you can harm one of these little ones, bro, Lord be with you on that. And he's telling you right here, like people read this, they read through this like it's a joke. This is Christ talking. This is Christ telling you it'd be better if something evil happened to you than if you touch one of these little ones. That's a direct threat, bro. Like I don't know how else to read that. I don't know if somebody would tell you it'd be better if you off yourself than you do this. That's a direct threat. I mean, they think that Christ is just talking love. Nah, dude, show me the love in this. Right? Keep reading. Now he's gonna give us counsel on how to deal with issues, because keep in mind, in the beginning, it says, in the beginning verses, it says, it is impossible, but that offenses will come. So he understands that. That's why he tells you it must come, but woe to him who it comes through. And then he makes a direct threat and tells you it'd be better if something evil happened to you than if you harm these little ones. Now, the problem is this: offenses must come. It's impossible for it not to. So how do we deal with this without hurting each other? How do we deal with this without offending each other? How do we deal with this without harming and discouraging each other? This is how you do it.
That's good. Take heed to yourself.
Take heed to yourself, meaning be careful. Take heed, meaning be careful, pay attention, be cautious. Right? Go ahead.
If thy brother trespass against thee.
If your brother has trespassed against you, what's a trespass? A trespass is something that offended you. Your brother said something, it doesn't have to be a slap to the face. It doesn't have to be anything physical. It doesn't have to be hard. It could be, something he said to you didn't like. A look he gave you didn't like. I mean, something that, and don't think, I'm going to tell you this, brothers and sisters, don't think anything is too small. I'm not saying be a drama queen. I'm saying when you battling demons, you cross your T's and you dot your I's. You know what I mean? Because you don't want something small. Let's say Gabar walked past me and he brushed against me. I thought you were aggressive. Right? I might say, I'm not even going to sweat it. I'm not even going to sweat it. I'm not going to address it. I think it was wrong. Now, he might have been carrying something. He wasn't even paying attention. He's a big guy. He brushed past me. He don't feel it. I feel it. Right? So now I might say, I'm not even mad. But now, here's what happens, Gabar. I'm not mad. I'm not going to sweat it, right? But next time I'm way upside, I dare him to push me like that again. Something small that could have been like, hey, Slack it, but my fault. I ain't even see you there. Versus, you better not do that again. Right. Now I got an animosity against a brother that we supposed to be in school together, raising up this nation. That's how easily Satan sneaks in. So I say that to say, if you feel offended, if there's a trespass against you, if you feel somebody has trespassed you, Read it again at the bottom.
Take heed to yourself.
Take heed. Don't overlook. Let me tell you, when you read these, don't overlook any part of this. This is Christ talking.
Okay.
Imagine if Christ was here with you now. And he said, watch yourself. Would you be like, watch yourself? Or would you say, oh, snap, I better pay attention to what he's about to tell me right now, because he's telling me something I need to hear. If he's telling me, take heed to yourself. Now, to make it further, when Christ comes back, right, Duval, he's coming back to do what? Judge. You done see it. This man is going to come back to slaughter and slay the nations. Now, this man is going to sit there. Imagine him sitting there with a sword in his hand, and he is the judge of the earth. Meaning all authority has been given to him on this earth and in heaven by his Father. That's in the Bible. He has all authority, meaning that what? He gives life where he wants, or he takes life where he wants. Full authority. And he says, take heed to yourself. You better pay attention to what he's about to say. He's telling you, what he's doing, he is warning you. He is literally warning us. Take heed to yourself, meaning be cautious. Watch yourself. Pay attention. Step lightly. I don't know how else to put it to you. I mean, take heed unto yourself. Go ahead.
Take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee,
if your brother trespass against you, meaning that if your brother offends you or your sister offends you, remember, trespasses must come, right? Offenses must come. But this is how I want you to handle it. This is what Christ is telling you here. Because he already threatened you and told you it'd be better if something bad happened to you than if you offend one of these. But trespasses must come. So this is how I want you to handle it. Read it again.
take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee,
if your brother or your sister trespass against you or offends you or sins against you, go ahead.
rebuke him.
Go ahead. You do what?
Rebuke him.
Rebuke him mean what? Correct him. Now, when you read the, we'll actually pull how to do it. Rebuking him is not what you think. It's not what, tell him off. That's not what we're saying. That's what you think rebuking is. Rebuking is not to tell somebody off and cuss somebody out. Right? But we're going to get into it. Go ahead.
Rebuke him. And if he repents, forgive him.
And if he repents, what?
Forgive him.
If he repents, or if she repents, if she says, oh, Salaki, says, I didn't mean it that way. Oh, damn, I didn't realize you took it that way. That's not what I meant at all. You know you're dear to me. You know you're my sister. I would never look to offend you in that way. I'm sorry that I should have thought before I said it that way, because I understand why you took it that way. Forgive her. Forgive him. Yes, I mean? The brother says, oh, Salaki, brother, damn, I didn't even realize I said that. Well, I didn't even realize I did that. Oh, my bad, brother. Salaki, sir. Salaki, brother. I didn't mean that offense. I would never offend you like that. I mean, like I left my family to join you here. I would not do that to offend you. Forgive him. Don't hold it against him. Don't look at him no way forever now and hope something happens to the brother. Oh, something does happen to the brother. Yeah, the brother got into a car accident. Oh, that was the Lord. Brother, you out of bounds. You know what I mean?
Okay. You
out of bounds. This is not the type of school that the Lord's building here. This is not what the Lord is building here. We don't celebrate brother's fall in here. You understand what I mean? We do defend ourselves. If you see back and forth, we do defend ourselves. But look, man, we would rather see a brother in here than outside. You know what I mean? We will not celebrate when a brother, passes away, or when a brother is hurt, or if a brother gets checked. I mean, don't be sitting up in them classes, in them scripture breakdown classes with Jerome Muhammad. I know who he's talking about. Don't do that. Don't do that. maybe he's talking about you. Maybe the lesson is for me to learn, not for somebody else. Maybe this lesson might be for me. Instead of trying to figure out who it's for, what can I learn from this? Sometimes you gotta see it that way. How can I fix my life with what the brother's saying up there? Instead of trying to apply it to somebody else, deflect and put it on somebody else. I mean, keep reading the ball.
Verse 4. And if you trespass against thee 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day turn again to thee, saying, I repent, thou shalt forgive him.
You understand what Christ? You understand what Christ said? This is now. You have to understand when you're reading this. Number one, never take your mind off who's speaking. That's the key to understanding the scriptures. Never take off your mind off who's speaking. This is Christ. Remember what he said earlier. Trespassers must come. But woe. So you gotta take the whole thing into consideration. Woe to him who it comes through. It'd be better that something bad happens to you than you offend one of these little ones. However, if they do come, here's how I want you to handle it. This is Christ talking. And he told you, if you go to the brother or sister and they apologize and say, Salaki brother, Salaki sister, accept it. Now he goes further and says, he don't care if this person offended you. Read it again one more time. And read it loud for me, boy. I want everybody to understand.
17 and 4. And if you trespass against thee 7 times in a day.
And how long?
7 times in a day.
Now, by the second time in our minds, we thinking, oh, you playing with us. Right. Right on. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not literal. He's just stressing what he's saying. He's just stressing the importance of what he's saying. Okay. But he wants you to understand that at some point, the person steps on your foot the first time, and slack it, bro, slack it. They step on you for the second time, slack it, bro, slack it. The third time, you're like, nah, I'm not taking the more slack it, bro. You know what I mean? The sister has her scarf, and she flings it the first time and slaps you in your face, and apologizes. The second time, you grab that scarf, right or wrong? You're not trying to apologize 7 times. It's disrespectful at this point. Christ says, forget that. You forgive him. You understand me? He said, if you read it again, if he trespassed against me 7 times in a day, in one day, go ahead.
And if he trespass against thee 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day turn again,
if he go ahead
to thee, saying, I repent.
If he's apologized to me 7 times and turns around those 7 times, each time, and says, I repent, meaning my bad, slack you. I'm sorry. If he apologized 7 times and repents 7 times, go ahead.
Forgive him.
Forgive him. Forgive him. This is Christ talking, and you have to understand. Now, to understand this part, I want you to understand the whole thing. Because Christ is telling you offenses must come, but this is how I want you to handle it. Christ has all authority on the earth. That means when he comes and he looks at you, he's going to also know how you handled the things that he actually handled a certain way when he was not here. And that day, brother, you're going to wish you forgive people. You're going to wish you was merciful that day. Why? Why would you wish you was merciful that day, Goodbye?
Because you're going to want worship Christ.
Because you're going to be looking for some mercy. You understand what I mean? That day, you're going to feel like, you know what? I don't feel like a fool for forgiving that sister that many times no more right now. I feel like this was a wise move. You understand what I mean? I'm not going to feel like a fool at that time because in the moment, the person's playing with you in your mind. The demons is telling you, yo, let that slide. But this is the second time we brother done, did that. Go ahead, Bob.
That's how you said it like that because that's what Satan be in your mind and talk to you. All the bad thoughts we have in your mind, that's Satan talking to us. We're trying to see if we won't fall.
Right. You see what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's 100% true. Them demons looking for opportunity. They're looking for opportunity. And they're trying to do what? They're trying to make you offend Christ by harming one of these little ones. That's what they're trying to do. That's their whole job. So he's trying to make you offend Christ because he don't want you to live. It's your job. You got to look at that as, okay, this is my opportunity to do what Christ said. Because I don't want to be ashamed when he shows up because of somebody, step on my big toe twice. I mean, I don't want to be ashamed. I want to be where this person here, she's a loving sister and she forgave and, give her a reward. Raise her up. Praise her. I mean, let her have a husband and beautiful children. Let her be remembered for what she did when Christ was not here. Let me tell you, when Christ is here, it's going to be easy to follow orders. It's going to be so easy to follow orders because once the first head rolls, everybody knows what time it is. Right. Now, everybody's just follow the order because now judgment is here. But when Christ is not here, guess what's not here? Immediate judgment. There's a precept in the scripture that says, the script, I want to misquote it. I'm going to paraphrase it. It says, it's because judgment has not come speedily. That is why the wicked continue in their ways. That's in the Bible. Judgment has not come quickly. That is why you do what you do. But if judgment came swiftly, that means you offend a sister, judgment comes swiftly. You want to offend a sister so freely. You want to offend a brother so freely when judgment is coming down like rain out of heaven. You understand what I mean? Okay. You don't want that. But because it's not coming quickly, why? Because Christ is not here in the flesh. That's why. If this brother here was saying it would have been better for you if they tied a millstone to your neck and threw you in the bottom of the ocean. If he was here, everybody would watch their mouths. Everybody would watch their mouths. You understand what I mean? Because he's a brother who's not going to play the games. He's not that white boy that preached to you who's just loving and forgiving and hugs and kisses and donuts. That's not him. There's an austere man here. I mean, who's come to hold you accountable. And he has every right to hold you accountable. Why? He gave his life to do so. He earned it. When he showed up in heaven, brother, they put that crown in his head. He was given all authority on earth and in heaven. What are you going to say to him? That's what I mean? Keep reading.
Verse 5. And the apostle said unto the Lord, increase our faith.
Wait, what that mean? Break this part down for me, before. So remember all we just read. And Christ just said, if they trespass you 7 times in a day and repent 7 times, forgive them. Now, immediately after he says that, the apostle says what?
Increase our faith.
Increase our faith. What does that mean?
I mean, help me with that one.
That's it.
Right.
So the apostle, they say, imagine Christ is there, he said that to them, and the apostle saying, Salaki said, Salaki said, you're going to have to increase our faith with that one. That's a rough one right there. Because they understand what Christ is asking them to do. Go ahead.
He said 7 times, I did 1 or 2. I can keep doing it. Every quick thing, all right.
So he said, Salaki, so I'm going to need more faith. I'm going to need more faith because increase my faith. Because I don't know how I'm going to let that slide 7 times in a day. Right? So he says, and the apostle said unto the Lord, increase our faith. Go ahead.
The Lord said, if you had faith as a grain of a mustard seed, you might say unto this
sycamore tree. Sycamore. Sycamore.
Sycamore tree. Be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted in the sea, and it shall like, and it shall obey you.
This scripture. This scripture is such a heavy scripture, right? Explain that part. What are you saying there?
If you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, you will be the get the tree, get up by the root. Well, you'll have hours.
But what does he really say? Okay, that's true. But this is Christ that said this here. He said something similar in another place. He said, if you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, you would move a mountain. What is he really saying?
It's like you to your faith, you can walk on water. You believe. You believe.
You have to understand what he's saying here. He's checking. He is checking the hell out of them here. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna explain to you what he's saying to them. Imagine your son. Your son is doing math homework. 1 + 1. And he's stumped. And he's saying, Dad, could you help me? I'm trying to do his math homework. I can't figure this problem out. And you look at it, it's 1 + 1. And you say to him, son, if you had the brains the size of a mustard seed, you would do algebra. What did you just say to him? If you had the brains the size of a mustard seed, you would do algebra. What's the mustard seed? What's the in the metaphor? What does the mustard seed represent?
Faith. Faith.
The faith. And what about the faith is compared to the mustard seed? It represents the faith. What about the faith makes you compare to the mustard seed? If you had the brains the size of a mustard seed, you'd do algebra. Did you compliment him? What did you just tell him? If you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, you would tell a mountain, get up and move, and it would do it. What did you just tell him? If you even had the faith the size of a mustard seed, you would do powerful things. What did you just tell him?
Increase your faith.
Huh?
Increase your faith.
No. You don't have to increase it, because even if you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, you'd be powerful.
They ain't got no faith.
They ain't got no faith. That's what he's telling them. Christians use this, they're like, well, with the faith the size of a, no, that's not what it's saying. He is checking them. You don't want he's telling you, you're so faithless. If you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, you'd be doing powerful things, man. You got no faith. That's what he's telling you. Just like in the illustration I was giving you, if you tell a child, if you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, or if you had the intelligence or the brains the size of a mustard seed, you do algebra. I mean, you're so dumb, right? You're so incapable. You can't even solve this. If you had a little bit of a brain, you do algebra. But you can't even do this. That means you are simple. He is checking the hell out. So I don't want nobody to walk around talking about something. If I had the faith the size, that's not what it's saying. Don't embarrass yourselves. You understand what I mean? Don't walk around like with the faith the size of a mustard seed. You need a lot of faith. But in this illustration here, he was checking him so hard, saying, man, y'all got no faith. That's Christ is checking the hell out. I mean, but only in here we understand what Christ is saying. The Christian church don't know what the hell Christ is saying here, of course. So they're thinking like, well, this is a compliment. But Christ is telling them, look, because what did he say to God? What did he say to Christ? Well, so you gotta increase our faith. I said, man, if you have faith inside of a mustard seed, you tell that tree get up and move, it moves. Because you have no faith. Increase it. What faith? What faith should I increase? We have no faith. There has to be something there to increase it. That's what he's basically telling me. You know what I mean? So that is like, you really have to understand what Christ is saying here. And again, when you read these things, you have to picture like what helps out. Like I imagine Christ being there. You know what I mean? And it's good when you're raised around austere men, being around brothers like Joe Thumb. I mean, John, Captain Mashah, Captain Nathar. These type of brothers, you look around them, you'll get the spirit of what's happening here. You understand. I've received enough checkers to understand when somebody's getting checked. If you've never been checked, like the Christian church, they don't understand checkers because they've never been checked. I know when somebody's getting checked. You know what I mean? It's like children. Children know when their brother's in trouble. You hear the tone of mom or pop's voice. Like, oh, snap, he in trouble. This is not a joke. But somebody who's not used to getting in trouble, not used to getting checked, they don't understand when somebody's about to get checked. But you see it coming from a mile away. You say, you know what? I'm about to leave this room because anybody about to get checked. I mean, and I wanted to go. Hold on. Was there? Read a little bit more. Was there more there? I think that was it, right?
And it should obey me. Read the whole thing.
No. Take me now to Matthew chapter 18. I want to expound a little bit on the rebuke part where it says, if your brother trespass against you, rebuke them. Now, I want everybody to understand what this means because and here's the other part too. 18, verse 15. We're going to start verse 15. Right? Matthew 18, verse 15. Don't walk around like, don't take from this class that you are going to walk around like you're high and mighty and check everybody left foot. No, bro. No, sister, don't do that. Because now you're going to be the one trespassing people. You're going to find yourself in councils. You know what I mean? Don't do that. You have to learn to be meek. There's a proper way to do everything. And don't be so thin-skinned where everything just offends you. Now, again, if something does offend you, don't hide from it and don't be proud. It's like you have to build balance. Like you could be offended, but you're so proud and say, well, I'm not offended. I'm not worried about that. When you are worried about it, you're thinking about it. You can't even sleep, but you're laying there thinking about what you should have done to that person when they said that. Right. That means you're offended. If you laying in your bed thinking, man, I should have punched him in the mouth when he said that, you're offended. And guess what's going to happen? Next time you're going to hit him or you're going to attack him, you're going to do something. Not because of what he's doing right now, because of something that happened months ago, a year ago. Go to counseling. But here's the step. Before you go to counseling, here are the steps. This is where the rebuking part comes. Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee.
If your brother shall trespass against you, go ahead.
Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Here's the important part. If your brother trespasses against you, you don't go and you start telling everybody in the school what happened. And you go to social media and start certain people, sneak this and do all that nonsense. Don't do all that. What do you do? Come on, read again.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Between you and him alone, or you and her alone, go and say, hey, Slap, did I talk to you about something? Yeah, what you said that day, like, man, like that was kind of harsh. I was kind of offended by it. Yes, I mean, be a man, be a woman, And don't be a child afraid to address something. Something really hurts you. Just let the sister know, hey sis, Slock, sis, yeah, that was hurtful what you said. You know what I mean? Hey, Slocky, bro. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling that. You embarrassed me in front of our brothers when you said that about me. I mean, I didn't like how that made me feel when you said that about me. I think you was out of line when you said that. I mean, go into that brother, let that brother know. It's such a loving thing to let somebody know that you offended them. Now, what happens is that brother, oh damn, Slocky, I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. And guess what? He won't do it again. Because now he knows, yeah, I offended that brother when I said that last time. He didn't laugh. You know what I mean? He didn't find it funny. He was offended by it. Therefore, I should not say stuff like that. And guess what? It'll help him because when he goes around other brothers, he'll know, yeah, last time I said something like this, a brother was offended. I don't want to offend any more brothers. So guess what? Maybe I shouldn't say that. You know what I mean? Maybe I shouldn't do that. Or if it's maybe I shouldn't drink so much around these brothers because last time I was around brothers and I drank too much, I offended a brother. Maybe I shouldn't drink so much around these brothers. You help the brother. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
If he shall hear thee, what does it mean by hear thee?
If he listens.
If he listens, if he accepts it, how does somebody hear you? What do they do when they hear you? They what? They apologize. You know what I mean? When they hear you, that means, you know what, brother? You're right. I should have said that in front of all these people and offended you that way. It was nobody's business for me to put up. It was not my business to put out like that. And I'm going to apologize to you for doing that. For doing that. That's a person who hears you. You went to him. You didn't bring the whole, nation before him. And you didn't bring him up on social media to judge him and put out. What's the term? Give everybody the tea. That's that feminine term I can't stand. He leaves the school now. He's spilling the tea. Now he got a story to tell about everybody. Now he got receipts is another term. It's not such a feminine term. Receipts. Yeah, I'm spilling the tea. That's not that. You understand me? Hey, Shalom, Officer Kuala, come. Shalom, you should up. I mean, that's not that. I mean, you go to that brother, you go to that brother alone. And if he hears you, you have gained your brother. I mean, what's the opposite of gain? What's the opposite of gain? No, gain. If I gain,
Gain, absolute gain,
lose. You didn't lose your brother. You gained your brother. You understand what I mean? You had peace with your brother. Brother said, Slock, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. My bad, I mean, you got my commitment. I'll never do some silly stuff like that again to you. You gained your brother. Because now, not only you didn't lose your brother, but you could feel comfortable sitting in a room and knowing the brother's not gonna say that again because we had this conversation. You know what I mean? So you gained your brother, right? Keep reading.
16. Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee.
Now, if he will not hear you, meaning that, what does not hear you mean?
I don't hear what you're saying. I don't want to apologize.
Yeah, not hear means. What are you even talking about?
Not a witness.
You acting like a real bitch right now. Why are you getting so emotional?
Not caring about.
Why are you acting all sensitive?
Not caring about her offense.
I didn't even say that. Right?
Don't care how you feel.
What do you want to do? You understand me? All that. if he will not hear you, keep reading.
But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more.
Now you start the process. This is the process. You take with you one or two witnesses. Like, look, see what happened. I mean, who are the one or two in the UPK? What's that one and two? This is not a sister offending you when you come and get me and me and you go. That's not that. One or two is where does this one or two people happen? And UPK, you should know this. Where does this one or two that you take with you? But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more. Everybody.
One or two brothers, one or two more brothers.
So you're saying that if you go to the brother,
Witnesses.
so you're saying if you go to the brother and he does not hear you, you bring one or two people to do what? Where does this happen? In a council. That's the word I was looking for. This is not you take people with you and go knock on the brother's door. This is not you bring a woman down or you bring some sister. No. This is a council. You understand what I mean? You're the council. And the council in those times, the council would happen in person. Why? We didn't have a phone. We didn't have, Google Meets. We had to set an arrangement and say, okay, we're going to meet here and have the conversation. You understand what I mean? So you take one or two with you in the council. Respectable men. You don't bring, when you take the one and two with you, who do you bring with you? A thief? The neighborhood whore? A murderer? No, you bring people with good reputation. You bring people, and that people in the county, because they're the ones who let them. When you bring them, what they're coming to do, they're coming to judge the matter. You see what I mean? So you're going to get the head of the head of the city, righteous men who are well renowned, well known, men who, if the neighborhood, if the city hears that he said you was wrong, you was wrong. If anybody hears that he said he was right, they'll know he was right because of his reputation. That's who you want to bring with you. You don't want to bring some thief with you. The thief might side with another thief. You see what I mean? And say, well, you're alive. You miss your wife, but you're alive. You know what I mean? Or the murderer might side with another murderer. At least he's not a thief. You see what I mean? You don't want that. So take two or three with you. Go ahead.
In the mouth of two or three witnesses, every word may be established. Every word may be established.
Meaning that, what the discussion, when it says every word be established, is what you're talking about. That it's twofold. What you're talking about may be investigated and might be found to be solid or not. Right? And also the other part to every word be established is what word? God's word be involved in the situation. When I say God's word, I'm talking about the law. What's the law on this? What's the law on that? Well, he borrowed my money and he ain't give it back. What's the law on that? That's the words being established. Right? Keep going.
Verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it to the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican.
So if he still will not hear the counsel, remember what we said. What kind of men you bringing? Righteous men, well-renowned men, respectable men. If he will still not hear it, what do? You bring him in front of the nation now. And when you bring him in front of the nation, what happens? Read the last part.
But if he neglects to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man. And in public.
Let him be like a heathen man. If he will not hear you, and he will not hear the brothers who grow with you, you bring him from the nation, and we're gonna throw him out of the nation. He's a heathen now. He is not one of us anymore.
When it says a heathen and a publican.
A publican, what's a publican? A publican is something that everybody in those times hated, right? Who was a publican in those times? A publican is a tax collector. Now imagine, how do I put it? A tax collector might be one of us, right? Meaning that it might be a black person, an Israelite, but he works for the Romans. And he comes and collects tax for the Romans. We saw him as a traitor, a sellout. So he's saying here, let them be as a heathen or a sellout. A publican was, Israel couldn't stand a publican. It was more like, how you doing this to us? You're doing this to your own people. You're not one of us anymore. You're as a heathen for us now. So he's saying that person too will be counted amongst the heathens. Who are the heathens talking about here? The people who pushed out of the kingdom or out of the family, for lack of a better term. It's not a heathen like or Adam or Edomite. A heathen that is we put him out. He's not our brother anymore. Or a pelican is also somebody we put out. That's not our brother. You know what I mean? Because he's a sellout. He sold us out. He's collecting taxes from us to give to the Romans. I mean, you have to think like today, when you see those big-headed Negroes, you're gonna see them this weekend in DC, who side with Trump, and they start to, abuse the poor. You heard about Trump wanting all the homeless to leave DC. You know what I mean? And he's bringing the National Guard to get the Trump. There's Negroes who agree with that. They're a bunch of sellouts. They're like the Pelicans. I mean, the Republicans, I should say. Right? That was 12 on that. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 5. And this is again in dealing with each other. Remember, Christ said, be careful how we deal with each other. How do you deal with somebody who, older brother or older sister, I mean, who may be at that age where they're not as witty as they used to be? 1 Timothy chapter 5, we're going to go verse 1.
What?
Verse 1.
First Timothy 5:1. Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father.
Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father. Right? Meaning what? Do not try to check some older brother every time, man. Don't be trying to, don't be a bully to an older brother, but entreat him as a father. What do you mean to entreat him? So, for example, older man, older sister, they got things going on, right? Don't always be pressed to correct them, but speak kindly with them. Don't look at an older brother and say, "You sit there." Welcome to the seat. It's like, come, let me walk to the seat. And treat him, be kind to him. That's something, let me tell you, that's why I was saying earlier, don't think of the older ones, these little ones that Christ is talking about as just young people, or especially when it comes to the elderly. Watch yourself. This might be a brother who's been serving the Lord for years. Brother been serving the Lord when you was in the world dealing crap. This brother was starving because he didn't have money, but he would not deal crap. He would serve the Lord. He had struggle suffering with people. Now that you found the truth, you repented from doing that crap. Good. Be careful how to deal with this brother. You understand what I mean? Be careful how you deal with this brother. Watch yourself. Watch your mouth and deal with him. I mean, that's what Christ is saying here. And treat him. Be confident. And let me tell you, what do you want that for your father? Like, let's say your father's an older man. My father is about to be 90 years old. Of course, he don't know what he's talking about. I mean, he always says something. He don't know what the hell he's talking about, but he think he know everything. Of course, he has ways. Of course, he's always arguing with somebody about something. But I don't want you to punch him in his mouth.
Right.
You understand me? I want you to have compassion for him.
Okay.
I don't want you to disrespect him. I want you to tell him, hey, shut up. I mean,
Right.
and you guys see it that way when you see an older brother, man, have compassion with him. I mean, now we're not going to tolerate no evil. I'm not saying that. The Christian church is full of old, evil men who have been lustful for years. That's not what I'm trying to tolerate. I'm talking about the little ones, those who are giving their lives to be in the school, to serve the Lord. Have compassion with them. All right? Keep reading.
And the younger man as a brother.
And treat the younger man as a brother. Meaning that there's a young brother, man. He's young, he's simple. You done made all the mistakes he's making right now. How do you approach him? Do you just always, abusing him verbally and, degrading him and checking him every chance you get? Don't be that. Don't be that. Don't be a brother, especially a brother who, let's say you're always getting checked. Maybe you're always getting checked because you need to be checked. That's why you're always getting checked, because you need to be checked constantly. That doesn't mean that you got to always check your young brother just because I get checked every minute. I need to check him every minute. That's not how it works. You bring in the proper dose of checkings that you need. That brother, you don't need to check him because, just for the hell of it. I mean, respect your young brother. Don't abuse him. That's for the little ones too. Watch how you deal with these people in the school, man. You know what I mean? Don't take out your frustration on some young brother just because you have rank over him. That's the wrong spirit to be in. If you're taking advantage of a brother just because you have rank over him, brother, I'm telling you like you told me, maybe you don't need the rank. Maybe you need to be under him because he's going to be kinder to you than you are to him. You know what I mean? Well, again, keep in mind what we were just reading earlier about what Christ said about the little ones and how it would be better that something bad happened to you than you offend or you trespass against these ones. He's watching. Keep reading.
Verse 2. The elder woman as a mother.
See the elder woman as a mother. Look, and this is a rough one for people. Let me tell you this. Here's why this is a rough one. Because in this world, in this kingdom, they don't even respect their mothers. Young women don't respect their mothers here. I would never want them to treat my mother like they treat their mother. The words they've called their moms, what they've said to them, their moms don't respect them and they don't respect their moms. Now, it's the world they were brought up in. This is all by design. I'm not tearing them down over that. I mean, I'm just saying that they need to, they basically need to come to the school to learn over. That's why Christ said you must be born again. You can't be the person you are today and serve the Lord. That's what I mean. The elder woman as a mother. Treat the elder woman as a mother, brother. Have compassion. Think about them and, what they have to go through. I mean, me and the officer of the Barbara Call was just talking as we was coming in here. Who was talking about? The sisters who have to climb up these stairs. Right on. Understanding all of that, we gotta do something. And we are working on it, sisters. We're working on getting a new school. I submitted a couple of joints to Joe Thumb. I want something on the ground floor level. I mean, nice, clean, welcoming. And I want you sisters in there every week. You understand what I mean? I want that place smelling like food all the time. I want it to smell like fresh baked bread. I want to hear the feet of the children running.
Right.
Up and down. I don't care. I want to see that. I want to hear her laughing. I want to see. That's what I want to see. And that's what we're working on. Why? Because we think about our sisters in here. We think about our older sisters and our younger sisters. You understand me? Keep reading.
The younger sister, the younger has sisters. Right.
And the elder woman as a mother and the younger as a sister. Go ahead.
All rising.
All what?
All purity.
All purity. What does that part mean? I know it's a foreign thing in this world here. A brother can't look at a young sister as a sister with all purity, because he done made her into a whore in his mind. Because why? Every woman in every magazine or every TV show or every internet social media is a hoe. Right? You can't look at your sister like that, man. You gotta look at her with all purity. Do not look at her as a piece of meat. Don't disrespect your sister like that. Here's a sister who the Lord brought in here. That's the part that I really want to drill into everybody's head. I mean, like I said, I look at the brothers like, okay, these brothers could be in here. I mean, a brother is rough. This is a rough place. The brother's rough. He can survive in here. But when I look at the sisters, I'm like, what brings them in here? The Lord brought them in here. Look at that sister with all purity. Don't look at that sister with any lust. Don't do anything to that sister. But you know what happens? And we read about this, and we see it in the world. And we read about this even in the scriptures. A brother look at his sister with all lust, get what he wants, and tomorrow wakes up and does not even consider it, does not even care about her, does not want her no more. That's actually what happens in a lot of marriages. Sad to say. You hear, I fell out of love with her. We're not in love no more. I want a divorce. Because you don't look at her as a sister. You look at her as a piece of meat. And at some point, you're tired of it. And now you want to throw her away. Don't be that. I mean, this, especially here. Not in the nation at all, especially in here. This is the groundwork for God's kingdom. I mean, this is the groundwork for God's kingdom. I'm going to give you another one. Christ said, speaking of the mustard seed, he said, the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed. That's a different metaphor again. Again, mustard seed. Why? Mustard seed is small. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed. But when it grows into a full giant tree. I'm paraphrasing. And the nations get shelter or shade under the tree. Meaning what? The kingdom of heaven is going to start as a small thing. This is here. This is these brothers and sisters that are here. They're the kingdom of heaven. It starts as a small thing, small and insignificant. It's a tiny seed, but it's going to grow. And when it grows, the nations will get shade under that tree. Christ said that. So now, that tree may be insignificant to you, so you think you can disrespect it, but Christ knows what that tree is going to become. I say that to say this. Every brother and sister in the school right now, yeah, we're poor. We're not rich. We don't have billions of dollars like other nations. We are insignificant. But Christ is watering us. Be careful how you treat each other here. Have compassion on each other here. Show mercy to each other here. You understand what I mean? Why? Because that small seed that you see, these sisters, these brothers, is what's going to build the kingdom. You understand what I mean? Now let's go real quick to Matthew chapter 18. We'll go back to Matthew chapter 18. I just want to break that part down for the trespass part.
18 what?
Go to verse 21. Now, this is in the same place where Christ is telling them, you have to forgive them, even if it's 7 times. Well, it's on the same topic. Like, even if it's 7 times in a day, you have to forgive them, right? So now, go ahead, verse 21.
Matthew 18 and 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him?
So Peter's saying, "Then, like, how many times do I have to forgive him?" Go ahead.
Till 70 times.
To what?
Till 70 times.
No, not 70.
Right. Till 7 times.
Till 7 times. Why is he saying till 7 times?
Because of that scripture.
That's it. Yes, I mean, that's where he gets it from.
Right.
It's like people don't realize he said till 7 times, but Christ told him if the brothers violate you 7 times in a day, you forgive them. So he's like, Peter's like, and now this is just me. Peter's saying that to sound deep, right? Here's why I'm saying it. Because he's referring to what Christ said before, so he has to answer now. So he think if he goes to Christ and say, how often should we forgive him? Till 7 times, Christ's gonna say, give Peter a hand. He said the right answer. Christ said, no. Keep reading.
Verse 22. Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times.
Christ is saying, I'm telling you, no, not 7 times. Go ahead.
But until 70 times 7.
70 times 7. I'm not telling. So Peter says to him, how many times should we forgive him? 7 times? Christ said, 9, not 7, 77 times. What did Christ just tell him then?
Always.
Always forgive him, but which is true. But Christ is basically telling from the last scripture, Christ said if he offends you 7 times in a day, right? So Peter again comes and says, how many times should we forgive him? 7 times? And Christ said, no, not 7 times, 77 times. What did Christ just say to Peter? He said
70 times 7.
Right. But, okay, I'll give it to you for the sake of time. He said to Peter, you still didn't understand what I was saying back then. You think the 7 is what matters. I'm telling you, forgive him. You stuck on a number. You got always forgive him. You got it. You got to get into the spirit when he's telling him there. Like when you're able to read between the lines, Peter comes and says, because he, like we just read, Christ said this before. So he comes and says, how many times should we forgive him? 7 times? Christ is saying, man.
She's worrying about number 70 times 7.
Yeah, he's like, you still didn't get the point.
Wrong.
Yes, what I mean?
No.
He said 70 times 7. How about that? Yes, what I mean?
If you came back after that again, he said 7 times a million.
If he comes to ask Christ again, he's gonna get checked hard. Yes, what I mean? Keep reading.
Verse 23. Therefore, is the kingdom of heaven unlike unto a certain king.
Now he's gonna break it down. The kingdom of heaven is gonna be like a king, right? Go ahead.
Which will take account of his servants. Verse 24. And we have begun, when he had begun to rebuke, reckon, when he had.
So, okay, let's slow down. So this king would take account of his servants. What does it mean to take account of his servants? The root word in account, the root word is account, but think accountant, right? Think, okay, this king, he's gonna pull the records and he's gonna see who owes him what. That's what it means to take account of the servants. You need to go into the records like an accountant. This is what an accountant does. Goes into the records and sees who owes what. So the kingdom of heaven is like a king who would take account of his servants. I mean, he's gonna pull the records, right? Go ahead.
Verse 23, right?
Yeah.
Verse 23. Therefore, is the kingdom of heaven unlike unto a certain king.
Likened unto a certain king. Go ahead.
Likened unto a certain king, which will take account of his servants. Verse 24. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him.
So when he had kept to reckon, what does it mean to reckon? Reckon means to balance it, mean to collect what is owed, mean to call you in and say, where's the money? I came to reckon or to settle. Is another word for reckon. Just settle. where's the money you owe me? Right? So, and when he had begun to reckon, go ahead.
One was brought unto him, which owed him 10,000 talents.
So somebody was brought to him that owed him 10,000 talents. It's time to pay up. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 25. But for as much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made.
So he was supposed to give 10,000 talents. He didn't have the money. So the king says, you don't have the money, I'm going to give my money one way or the other. Sell him, his wife, and his children, and take the money and settle the score. That's what the king said. Take him, his wife, and his children, sell him. I'm going to get my money. Go ahead.
Verse 26. And the servant therefore fell down and worshiped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all.
Now, when the servant heard he's about to be sold, and his whole household, he fell to his feet, to his knees, and said, Lord, please, have a little patience with me. I'm going to get the money. Please don't sell my wife and my kids. I'm going to get you the money. Go ahead.
Verse 27. And the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion, and loved him, and forgave him the debt. So
when the king saw him fall on his knees and started crying and begging for mercy, the king had some compassion on him and say, you know what? I'm rich. I'm the king. That 10,000 not going to make me. It's a lot of money to owe. It's not going to make me. You know what? I'm going to give you a full pardon. You don't owe me nothing. I forgive you. I'm forgiving you today. So imagine go in there and about to be sold, you, your wife, and your children. And all of a sudden the king says, you know what? Don't even sweat it, brother. I forgive you. Imagine the weight that comes off his shoulders now when that king forgives you. Keep reading.
Verse 28. With the same slide.
Now remember, this is answering Peter when he said, how many times should we give him? Forgive him 7 times? And Christ said 77. Keep reading.
Verse 28. But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 talents, so like 100 pence. And he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, pay me that thou owest.
So now the same servant, after being forgiven 10,000 talents, he went out and he saw a fellow servant who owed 100 pence, not talent, pence. So think dollars to pennies. He saw a fellow servant who owes him pennies. And he grabbed that servant by the throat and said, you B-A-S, B-A-N, was it? B-A nigga.
Right.
Grab him by the throat. Pay me what you owe me. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 29. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, have patience with me, and I will pay.
So now the fellow servant, the fellow poor man, just like him, he grabbed him by the throat and said, give me my money. He says, please, I'm going to pay you. Please be patient with me. Keep reading.
No mercy. Verse 30. And he would not.
And he would not forgive him. Keep reading.
But went and cast him into prison.
And he what?
Now he shall pay the debt.
And he threw him into prison. So he brought him from the Lord and they threw him in prison. And he said, you're going to sit here and rot until you pay that 100 pence. Keep reading.
Verse 30. So when the fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry. And came and told unto the Lord all that was done.
So now when other servants like them saw what happened, they were like, damn, that's messed up what he did to him. And they went and they told the king, who just forgave him 10,000 talents. Go ahead.
32. Then his Lord, after that, he said, call him. Said unto him, O thou wicked servant.
Oh, what?
O thou wicked servant.
So the king sent and called him, and they brought him before the king. And the king addressed him as, oh, you wicked nigger. Go ahead.
I forgave thee all that debt.
I forgave you all that money. Go ahead.
Because thou desired me.
Because you asked me for compassion. Go ahead.
33. Should not thou also have had compassion on thy fellow servant?
Why don't you have compassion on your fellow servant? Go ahead.
Even as I had pity on thee.
Just like I had pity on you. You owe me 10,000 talents, you idiot. I forgave you. And you go and you want to hold some brother who owe you 100 pence accountable and throw him in jail? Keep reading.
Verse 34. And his Lord was wroth.
His Lord was what?
Wroth.
Wroth meaning very angry. Go ahead.
And delivered him to the tormentors.
And brought him to the tormentors. Go ahead.
Now he shall pay all that he was due unto him.
And he's going to pay everything he owes. The debt is back on. He's going to pay everything he owes. Go ahead.
Verse 35. So likewise, shall my heavenly Father do also unto you.
Who's speaking here?
Right.
Don't forget that. Christ is telling you, so likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you. Go ahead.
If you from your heart forgive not everyone his brother their trespass.
If you don't forgive each other. Christ is telling you, he's telling you what's going to happen. He's telling you, you know what he just said here? He's saying, if we don't forgive each other, that's how he's going to see it. Because guess who we owe?
Right.
We owe him. He came and he gave blood.
Right.
He gave his life. So he took the punishment for us and forgave us. If we can't forgive each other, he's telling you, this illustration he just gave you, he's giving you his thought process on it. This is how he's going to see it. He's going to see that he forgave you 10,000 talents and you couldn't forgive your brother something small. And he is going to deliver you to the tormentors and you're going to pay everything you owe. Meaning what? All that talk of, well, Christ died for me, not no more. You owe. You owe. In order for Christ's death to mean something for you, you're gonna have to forgive each other. If not, you notice how in the illustration he gave, in the parable he gave, the king forgave him. Now, when the king found out what he did, the king said, you know what? Scratch that. Make him pay everything he owed. If you say, well, the blood of, like the Christian like say, the blood of Christ, I'm washing the blood of Christ. Yeah. You're going to find out you're not. You're going to find out that you owe, and you're going to pay everything you owe. Why? Because you can forgive a sister because she took the last seat. Because you can forgive a sister because, or a brother, because, something small. And when I say small, it's small to Christ, not to you. $100 I know might be a lot to you right now in your mind, but it's small to Christ compared to what he had to go through. You understand me? Whatever it is you think that you can't forgive your brother over, it's small. You understand? And he's gonna, when it comes down the way, he's gonna see he gave his life. What could you not forgive? What is so impossible for you not to be able to forgive? And very few things are going to be justifiable. Then I'll tell you right now, there's going to be nothing justifiable for not forgiving each other. He is laying it out for us right now. Through these scriptures, he laid out everything. There's going to be no excuse. He gave us these parables. for us to learn his thought process of a matter when we have problems with each other. He said trespasses or offenses must come, but woe to the him which it comes from. But if it does happen, this is how I want you to handle it. Forgive each other repeatedly. If you don't, he gave us the illustration as to how a king would handle it. If he forgave you a large sum of money and you couldn't forgive your brother over something small. So when that time comes, bro, and you sitting there looking crazy, don't say that Christ never taught you what or told you what he's going to do to you if we can forgive each other. You understand me? Boy, you have anything to add to that? Sure? All right. With that, we'll pass the class over to the priest officer, Balimore Carr.
These are the security announcements. We are at Isupk at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother and sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to set themselves in the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to their brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry the child, which is the commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. It's 10th in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced by action. 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you into the Treasury Department or teacher, priest funds, free will office for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like to give. Cover whole convocation.
The memorial of blowing the trumpets. The memorial of the blowing the trumpet will be in the month of September 21st, which is a Sunday. It will be observed right here in the Baltimore school. Start the memorial blowing the trumpet will start at 7 p.m. Get here by 6:30.
My academic to check on social media such as Isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for Isupk investment materials. Any brother wants to become a trooper in the school, then should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or star. With that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Abadi. Mighty Shabbat, Mighty Barak, the Hava, Shimmy out, Shab, out of stuff. That's my child, back to rest. Just on the one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel. Mighty Shabbat, Mighty Barak, the Hava, Shema, out of stuff, Shimmy out, Shab. That's my child, back to rest.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're